the court pleases, my lord. Apologies for the late start. The reasons for the delay were conveyed to the court through the registrar. Mr. Advocate Muniz is still taking the witness through cross-examination.
Okay, yes, sir. Still on the movement?
Sorry. Before Mr. Nisi continues with his presentation, I received a call this morning from Mr. Ngqibelo indicating that he was going to be late and requested that I should send in for him. I've communicated the arrangement to Mr. Spear for Mr. Ngqibelo.
Okay.
Thank you.
As it pleases the court, my lord, may I apologize for the bit of an inconvenience. It was something inadvertent.
Okay.
Thank you, my lord. Good morning again, ma'am. Now, we ended off yesterday where you said pattern matching which is preferred in South Africa is more of a qualitative nature than of a quantitative nature, not so? Now, thank you. Is there any specific reason why Ballistic South Africa prefers to use pattern matching than CMS?
CMS has set criteria, and pattern matching is there's a good pattern and it is identifiable and it is carried over. It's not relying on a specific amount as set in the criteria of CMS. We look at more than just the amount. We look at the quality of the individual house.
ukuthi kungani ke South Africa iyona ke ikhethela ukuthi isebenzisele ke uhlelo obizwa ngokuthi pattern matching ukuthi ke kuyona ke uyabheka ke nezingane noma ke uphakathi ke kodwa awubheki ukuthi ukangakanani nanjengoba ku CMS ulindele.
Thank you. Now let's clear this before we proceed further. From what I gather from you is that it's a policy or it's a directive within the ballistic laboratory that South Africa should use pattern matching instead of CMS, not so?
My lord, yes, as set up by FT, we use the theory of identification.
Nanjengoba ke kubekiwe ke yona ke FT yona ke leyo indlela ekufanele siyisebenzise yona le pattern matching.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, have you ever used CMS as a method of analyzing ballistic exhibits?
My lord, as the two are not mutually exclusive, even though we don't use it, we don't rely on CMS. We rely on the significance and the quality of the pattern. If there's more than one pattern, but the point is we use the quality of the pattern. The two cannot be mutually exclusive.
Lezi mbili ke akwazi ke ukuthi ke noma ke singakodwa ngoba ke thina esibhekayo sibheka ke ukuthi ke kuka ngakanani noma ke iquality noma izingane ngaloko esikuthola kunokuthi sibheke ke ukuthi ke inamba yakhona lokho kubizwa ngokuthi ke quantity.
I just don't rely on CMS to make the set identification.
Asiyona ke into mina enginika kuyona ke ukuthi ke ngifinyelele kwisinqumo.
Thank you, ma'am. That I understand, but my question is, have you ever used CMS as a method of analysis?
No, my lord, not individually, no.
Mina ke ngokwami nje angaze ngiyisebenzise yona ke iCMS.
Thank you. Just a second. My apologies, my lord. I came here rushing. Thank you, ma'am. Now, Lieutenant Colonel, Mangena told you that this analysis that you did was in relation to a Senzo Meyiwa case. That's what you told this case. So.
That's correct, my lord.
Yabo kuyiqiniso ngishilo ukuthi wangitshela uma ngimbuza ke uLieutenant Colonel Mangena ukuthi ke iliphi leqala wathi lika Senzo Meyiwa.
But why did you ask him about that information?
My lord, when I confirm or give an opinion or anything on the microscope, it's normal to just ask, what is this case related to? It was just for interest sake.
Injwayelo nje noma ke kujwayelekile ukuthi uma ngimnikeza uvo ngizobuza ukuthi icala elingani leli ukwazi ukufuna nje ukwazi.
Is there any other information which could be of interest to this court, which you yourself and Lieutenant Colonel Mangena discussed around this case, which you would love to share with us?
No, my lord.
Thank you.
Akukho kunye engakhuluma ke mayelana nalokho ngabuza nje lokho akukho.
Now, Lieutenant Colonel Mangane fired 8 test bullets to assist himself in the analysis of this exhibit. Did he tell you about that?
I heard about it later on, my lord.
Ukhona Mangena wase khomisa ke isibhamu amahlandla awu-8 ke noma ke lama bullets awatesta awu-8 ngaba wakutshela yini ngalokho ngakuzwa lokho kamuva.
When later?
Later when we were discussing things in the office.
Kamuva ke uma sasesixoxa ke manje ngezinto ke ehhovisi.
And did he tell you the reason why he had to fire 8 bullets? Test bullets?
To the best of my understanding, my lord, it is because he did not know the manufacturer of the specific bullet. Therefore, he fired several tests from different manufacturers in order to get the best possible same material.
Ngikwazi kwami ke noma ukukhumbula kwami ke isizathu sokuthi ke khomiseke isibhamu lawo mahlandla 8 noma sebenziseke lawo bullets ama test bullets awu-8 kungoba wayengazi ke ukuthi leyo bullet leyo ke iluphi uhlobo noma eyenziwe kuphi ke bangaba fanele ukuthi adubuleke ahlukahlukene azothola ukuthi yiphi noma yini mhlambe yenziwe kuphi.
Now, when you say to the best of your knowledge, is that out of your own knowledge or is that something that you got from him?
I got it from him, my lord.
Into leyo engayizwa kuyena noma engayithola kuyena.
Thank you. Now, he only told you that he had to fire 8 bullets because he did not know the material from which the bullets were made, and then he wanted to fire test bullets which were made of materials of a different nature in order to come nearer to the scene bullet. Do I understand you right?
That's correct, my lord.
Thank you.
Yebo ngoba ke wayengazi ukuthi ke inhlamvu eyenziwe kuphi noma ke yaluphi ke uhlobo kwakufanele ke adubule ama test bullets ahlukahlukene.
Beyond that, is there anything that he told you about these bullets?
No, my lord.
Ngale kwalokho akukho kunye angitshela kona ke ngale inhlamvu.
Now, Lieutenant Colonel Mangena told this court, okay, before we get there, and I'm going to request you to remind me about this point. Now, when you analyze these bullets, these test bullets, is there anything very specifically, ballistically, that you found under the microscope which you would love to bring to the attention of this court as to the nature of the bullets and stuff like that? Those which you analyzed?
My lord, it was 4 years ago and I can't recall exactly any specific marks. I just gave an opinion. I made no record of anything I saw.
Iminyaka emine ke eyadlula ke ngakwenza ke lokho akunama marks athize ke engathi ke ngiyakhumbula ke manje futhi akukho engakubhala phansi okwamba kwakunginikeza nje ngofo.
So that is how you apply to scientific method of analyzing this bullet. You never wrote anything down. You kept everything in your head, and 4 years down the line, you had forgotten what you saw on the 20th, or on the 22nd of July 2020. Is that the case?
My Lord, when I mean I forget, I cannot recall whether I made the identification on a specific on the land, on a specific spot on the road. Not the fact that I couldn't remember anything about the identification.
Akusuke ukuthi ke akukho nje engikukhumbulayo ukuthi nje angeke ngisho ukuthi yini kahle kahle ke eyangenza ke ukuthi kube yiyona ke engikhomba ngayo noma ke ngi-identify ngayo noma kwakuyi-mark ethize.
Thank you, ma'am. So you basically come here to tell the court that 4 years ago you did an analysis, you never wrote anything down, and 4 years down the line you had forgotten what you saw on those bullets.
My Lord,
Is
as
that
I
the
mentioned,
case?
I didn't forget that I made a positive identification. I just cannot recall which exact marks I used to make my identification. Normally, if the verifier will note down whether it's a group or a land or a specific area, as I was only asked for opinion, I did not need to write it down.
Engikushoyo ke ukuthi mina ngikhohliweke ukuthi yebo khona ke ngakusho noma ke khona isinqumo engafikela kusona ke engikushoyo ukuthi nje angikhumbuleki ukuthi i-market thizeni lena ke ekwaba yiyona eyabangela ukuthi ke ngifinyelele leso sinqumo engafikela kusona kodwa ke ukhona ke lo yena ke lo wabiza ngokuthi ke u-verifier uyena ke obhala phansi ke ozosho ukuthi kwakuyi-groove noma kwakuyini mina okwami kwakukunikeza nje ngovo kuphela.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Mangena told this court that the reason why he had to fire 8 bullets on top of the 2 that Warrant Officer Rudolph worked on, it is because he could not get the necessary mark. In other words, the transfer of the mark from the tool to the bullet was of a very poor quality. So he had to keep on firing up until such time that he could compare all bullets and take out the one that he, according to himself, he could work on because it had better marks. That is what he told this court. Do you follow?
I follow, sir.
Ukenel Mangena ke watshela lenkantolo ukuthi yena ke izathu sokuthi ke ngaphezulu kwala mabullet amabili ke awadubula ukuthi ke aze adubule ke awu8 kwakungoba ke ukuthi ke ama mark ayengatholakali kahle ke abuya kusona ke isibhamu andluliselwa kuyona inhlamvu kwakungakho ke kufanele adubule andlulisele ukuze atholeke ekuyiyona yona.
Now that you can't dispute because you can't remember what you saw on those bullets, not so.
My Lord, as far as I understand, it's not like Colonel Mangena shot 2 tests, then went to the microscope, didn't find enough, went back, fired 2 tests, looked more, didn't find enough. He fired all the tests at the same time. The reason he fired more than 2 was because there is the exhibit bullet is a CMJ, which is a complete metal jacket, and the original tests are FMJ, full metal jacket, and they mark differently.
Lana kulokho engikuzwayo ke akusukuthi uMangena wayedubula ke abese yahamba ke ayobheka ku microscope aphinda adubule abuyele kodwa ke wadubula konke ngesikhathi ke esisodwa ngoba ke lana sikhuluma ke ngeinhlamvu ezahlukahlukene sikhuluma ngayo iCMJ kanye nayo ke iFMJ.
But then where do you then get where do you then get that information from? That the one which you've just explained now, where do you get it from?
Colonel Mangena wrote an affidavit saying that he fired tests marked so and so.
Ukuthola ke manje lokho qedwe kusho ke manje uKenel Mangena ke unestatement asenza ke la ashoyo khona ke ukuthi ke wasebenza wadubula.
So you read through Mangena's affidavit?
I did read through it yesterday, my Lord.
Yes.
I was just refreshing myself as to make my 2 and 2 as to how the exhibits were marked and such.
Okusho ukuthi ke usifundile ke noma wasifunda ke statement sakhe Mangena yebo ngisifundile izolo uma ke semfuna nami ke ukukhumbuza futhi ke nokulungiselela ke lesi esami statement okufanele ngisenze.
Because according to my understanding, the explanation was several tests were shot because of the Colonel Mangena did not know the origin of the complete metal jacket, bullet, and therefore he fired several manufacturers to get the best, to get the closest to the exact ammunition used.
Ngoba ke engitshelwayo ke noma okushiwoyo kumina ke lana ukuthi ke uKenel Mangena wadubula ke lama test bullets awu-80 ke ngoba wayengayitholi ke noma engazi ukuthi ke inhlamvu leyo yayenziwe kuphi ke noma ke i-manufacturer yayo kwakuyiphi ke ngako adubula lawo.
Now take Mangena's affidavit out. Take it out. I'm not asking you about what is contained in Mangena's affidavit. If I wanted to ask you, if I wanted to know what is contained in Mangena's affidavit, I would have asked him when he has already testified. What I'm telling you is that that is what he told this court. So if you had not had sight of his affidavit, you would not have disputed what he told this court, not so.
And therefore can't comment on that matter.
Akukho ke ngakusho lokho ukuthi uma bengayibonanga affidavit yakhe bengeke ngiphikisane naloko akushiwo la enkantolo. Akukho engakusho lapho.
Thank you. And further on, when he was explaining his results as to how he actually came to the conclusion that indeed the sin bullet was fired from the alleged firearm, he told this court that he identified that in one of the bullets there was something peculiar with that bullet. Did you note anything peculiar in one of the bullets?
I don't know which bullet necessarily.
Bullet number 9.
Sorry?
Bullet number 9.
I can't recall, my lord. As I said, I can't recall the exact marks that I saw.
Okunye futhi akushilo ke ukuthi ke kwakunale nhlamvu njena ke inhlamvu ke number 9 ukuthi kwakunento nje ngayo ngabe uyakhumbula yini wena ke kunenhlamvu okhona nje okodwa nje wabona nanje mangisho ke ukuthi ke angikhumbuli.
Let me tell you what he told this court. He told this court that bullet number 9, although according to him he was able to find some striations here and there, but the nature of the bullet was such that these striations were not evenly transferred throughout the bullet because of the nature of the bullet. It had a ditch. It had an indentation. Do you know what an indentation is?
I do, my lord.
What it is?
It's as if there's a space. It doesn't reach.
It doesn't reach.
Yes, there's a slight dent, so it's not equal in level, if
Yeah.
that is what you say.
Thank you. That is indentation. That is what he told in this court. You can't dispute that. Not so.
I can't dispute that.
Ungaphikisa-ke ngoba yena-ke uma ushilo-ke ukuthi-ke uma le makhi-ke isindluliselwa-ke kusona-ke isibhamu kuyona inhlamvu adluliselwanga-ke ngokuthi-ke ilinganeke kwakukhona-ke lapha ngathi khona-ke nendawo ewumgodi noma indawo ingakho ukuthi ingaba level khona-ke kuleyo nhlamvu leyo angeke uphikise uma usho lokho cha angeke uphikise.
I would have thought, ma'am, that as an expert who dared to with these things under a microscope, these are all the features that we have been able to identify as an expert, of course. That is what I would have thought and expected from an expert, but nonetheless, let us proceed. Now you're saying Forensic Science Laboratory, South Africa, limits itself to the usage of pattern matching because it is qualitative and not quantitative. That's a bold statement that you made before court. Not so.
My lord, I did not say they limit themselves. I said we use pattern matching.
Yes.
Engikushilo mina ukuthi la eSouth Africa-ke akuthi nje siphela kona-ke kodwa sisebenzisa le nhlobo-ke ebizwa ngokuthi-ke i-pattern matching.
Thank you. And that you had limited yourself to a usage of pattern matching because of its qualitative nature.
Did not limit myself. I prefer pattern matching as it is prescribed by FD and the South African Police Service as the method we are using.
Thank you.
Mina-ke ngikhethe yona ukuthi ngisebenzise yona-ke nanjengoba kuyiyona-ke esetshenziswayo-ke eSouth Africa.
Now, Mr. Mangena used CMS as a method of comparison. That is why he did it. You're probably aware of that fact.
No, my lord, I'm not aware of that fact.
Angikwazi-ke lokho ukuthi uMangena yena wasebenzisa i-CMS.
He used CMS. CMS basically has got to do with striations. That's it, so.
Pattern matching and CMS both have to do with striations.
Zombili-ke i-CMS kanye nayo-ke pattern matching zombili-ke zisebenza ngawo-ke lokho okubizwa ngokuthi ama-striations.
I'm talking CMS, not pattern matching. CMS.
CMS has to do with striations, that's correct, my lord.
Yebo, i-CMS yona-ke inokwenza nawo ama-striations.
Now, he came to court, man, already having prepared a chart on how he was able to identify those striations and the methodologies that he used to identify those striations. This is just by way of a background. Do you follow?
I follow, my lord.
Oh, thank you. Have you ever attended the CMS course?
I attended a CMS workshop, my lord. I wouldn't refer to it as a course.
Kune-workshop-ke yayo i-CMS engake ngaya kuyona, angeke ngiyibize ukuthi kwakuyi-course.
When was that?
I can't recall the exact year or date.
Angikukhumbuleki unyaka.
It was the same one Mr. Peter said.
Iyona lena Mr. Peter ayeye kuyona.
That was in 2012.
Okay, then it is 2012.
Makubeke u-2012 futhi.
That's almost 12 years ago. And after having attended that course, did you ever use CMS as a method of comparison?
My lord, CMS is a quantitative method of describing an observed pattern. My apologies. I did not use CMS exclusively, no.
Mina-ke i-CMS-ke uhlobo nje olodwa-ke lokuthi-ke ubheke noma-ke utholeke, kodwa mina-ke i-CMS angaze ngiyisebenzise cha.
But my question is very clear. After having attended this course, this what did you call it now?
Workshop.
Workshop, yes. After having attended this workshop, did you then thereafter ever use the CMS as a method of comparison?
My lord, as I explained, pattern matching and CMS are not mutually exclusive. Even before I attended the course, one would still look, I have a pattern here, I have a pattern there. We don't count the lines, the specific amount of IDs we have.
Nangaphambi kokuthi-ke ngiyeke kuyona-ke le workshop, nalapho-ke sasingabheki-ke noma sibale-ke ukuthi-ke imigqa etholakalayo uthola imigqa emingaki-ke, kodwa-ke wawubheka-ke lokhu sikubiza ngokuthi-ke ihamba kanjani noma-ke lokhu kubizwa ngokuthi phecelezi i-pattern.
What does CMS stand for?
Consecutive matching style.
Lokho okuchazwa noma uyena-ke u-CMS lowo uma-ke ngamastraya lana-ke ngokulandelelana-ke noma-ke consecutive matching straya.
You are saying your trade is based on training and it's also based on experience. So,
That's correct.
now when it comes to the calculations of the striations, when one is using the CMS method of comparison, are you in a position to assist the court in that regard?
It is for the criteria for CMS on a 3-dimensional image. It is 2 sets of 3 and 1 set of 6. Oh, sorry, my lord, let me just correct that. That is correct. And the 2-dimensional image, it is 2 sets of 5 or 1 set of 10.
Indlela ke esetshenziswayo ke yokubhala ke la ekuthiwa khona ke kuyabhalwa khona le kuyi-CMS ama-set amabili ke ka-5 yalezo eziyi-5 noma ke iset eyodwa kwawu-10.
I did not hear you well, because at some stage you said, no, sorry. May you please start again?
My lord, I just confirmed it. It is a 3-dimensional image. It's 2 sets of 3 or 1 set of 6. 2-dimensional, it's 2 sets of 5 or 1 set of 10.
So this one's 2 sets of 3. Enye ke futhi bekude ama-set amabili ku-3 noma ke iset eyodwa ke ku-6.
Now, the counting of the striations. How should the striations be counted when one prefers to use the CMS method?
According to my understanding of CMS, my lord, they should be consecutive, the one after the other.
Ngokwami ke noma ngolwazi lwami ke uma ebalwa ke kufanele ukuthi ke ahambe ke ngokulandelelana
Without a break, my lord.
ngaphandle kokunqamuka.
Thank you. In an event that there's a break, you are assisting the court. In an event of there being a break between the striations, in other words, where one finds, say, the first striation on the exhibit bullet, which runs through into the test bullet. Then there's a striation on the exhibit bullet, which is not there on the test bullet. And the third striation is there on the exhibit bullet. It also runs through to the test bullet. How do we then go about with the counting in that regard? Did you get my example?
I get your example, my
Yes.
lord. That is why we don't use CMS, my lord. We're looking at the pattern as a whole. It doesn't mean that if the mark didn't transfer either on the one side or the other side, that it doesn't exist. It's just that marks don't transfer exactly the same on everything.
Ama-mark uma lana esendluliselwa kuyo yonke into awandluliselwa ke ngohlobo ke noma ngendlela ke efanayo ileso sizathu ke sokuthi ke singasebenzisi ke lo hlelo lolu olubizwa ngokuthi ke i-CMS.
One of the reasons could be, as Mr. Mnisi mentioned, that there is a dent in the bullet, so the surface is not equal, so therefore the mark didn't necessarily transfer from the one to the other.
Okunye ke ngaba ngalendlela ke abesho ngayo ke kwaba umnisi ke ukuthi mhlambe akukho ke ukulebe noma ke ukuthi kuyalingana ke kunale dent abekhulume ngayo ke uMr Mnisi.
Well and understood. The counting method. You said you need to count the striations and that there should not be a break. I gave you an example. In respect of the example that I gave you, how do we go about with the counting business?
My lord, if there is a break, then with CMS, as I understand, you start recounting.
Uma kuukuthi ke kukhona ke la ukuthi uma ubala uthola ukuthi kunala kungamuka khona ke noma akhambi ngokulandelelana kuyona i-CMS ila ubala uphinde uqala phansi futhi ubala.
Thank you. Same relative position. What do you understand with that concept?
My lord, same relative position means that if I find a mark on the base of the bullet, I would expect the mark on the base of the other bullet that I'm examining as well.
Uma ke khulunywa ke ngendawo eyodwa ke noma ke same relative position ukuthi uma ke imark leyo uyithole khona ke enzansi mhlambe eyodwa noma ubheka kwenye ke uzolindela ke ukuthi uyithole kuleyo ndawo.
When you say base of a bullet, what do you mean?
The bottom end of the bullet, my lord, if we have the nose of the bullet, which is around, if we have a mark, for example, close to the nose, I would expect it to be close to the nose of the other test or exhibit that we are examining. It should be at the same position. You cannot compare a mark that you found on the nose to the mark you found at the base of the bullet, which would then be, if you can call it, the bottom of it.
Mangikhuluma ngayo ke ibase mhlawumbe khuluma khona ke ezansi uma kusho ukuthi ke uma ukuthi mark leyo uyitholeke la bizwa ngokuthi ke ikhala ke leli layo inhlamvu ulindele nokuthi uma uyibheka kwenye ke uyithole kuleyo ndawo kodwa ungayitholi endaweni ezahlukene.
Thank you. Now, based on what you've just said about the method of counting, when somebody says, even if there's a break in terms of the consistency of the striations, you continue to count. You don't start from one. Would you say that that student got the test right?
In terms, are you speaking in terms of CMS?
I'm talking in terms of CMS striations, yes.
Yes, my lord. That is how they count it. If there's a break, there's no line, they do not count it. They start again until they find 3. And therefore, that is why they're limited to 2 sets of 3
Yes.
or 1 set of 6. With pattern matching, it's not the same.
Uma bebona ke bebala ke baze babala batholeke ukuthi ke aqhubekekike ilapha buyele emuva ke khona ke bayokala kodwa ke kuyona ke i-pattern matching akwenzeki ngaleyo ndlela.
Maybe I need, I'm sorry, maybe I need to repeat my question. My question is, if a student says, it's just a hypothetical situation, if a student says, in a CMS method of analysis, where, for instance, back to my example, there's a first striation that runs through the same bullet and the test bullet. There's no dispute about it. But the second striation, which is found in the same relative position or area, is only found in the test bullet. I mean, it could be either on the test bullet or on the exhibit bullet. Let's say it is only found on the exhibit bullet. But even under the strongest microscope, that striation is not there on the test bullet. And then you go to the third striation, it is found on both bullets. Then you ask the student, how do you count this striation? Then the student says to you, you continue to count. In other words, you count the first one as 1. Even if there's a breakage, you continue to count the third one as a second striation in order to get it. Would you then say that student got this method of counting right?
No, my lord.
Thank you.
Angeke ngithi ke uma kuwukuthi umuntu uyabala asathole ukuthi akekho akukho ke ukuqhubeka ke noma kunala nqamuka khona abese eyaqhubeka ke angabuyela emuva ngithi loyo muntu loyo noma loyo mfundi loyo right.
So you give that student a wrong because he has failed the test. So
That is not how CMS works. To the
Akusiyona.
best of my knowledge.
Ngolwami ke ulwazi akusiyona indlela i-CMS esebenza ngayo leyo.
no, but let us talk about this student. We're not done with this hypothetical situation. I'm asking you give that student a wrong because he would have failed that answer, not so.
Yes,
Thank you.
Yebo ngizothi ke loyo mfundi loyo ke leyo mpendulo leyo akayitholanga kahle.
You're probably wondering who that student is. Ma'am, I won't tell you who that student is. It's for me to argue at the end of the case, not so. Thank you, ma'am. I don't want to spoil it, ma'am. I think I no longer have any questions for you. Thank you very much, particularly for the last answer. Thank you very much. I've got no further questions, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, Mr.
I
sorry,
have
Mr.
no, I have no
Norman.
possible relation to
Unless-
this. I have no possible relation to this witness.
Oh, against you. Okay, Ms. Mshololo,
My lord, can I start after break?
what's the time now?
It's 11:05.
11:05, my lord.
Yeah.
11:05. It's 11:05. 5 past 11.
Okay, come back at half past. Yes, ma'am.
problem. Under what circumstances can the microscopic verification be sought?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question? I can't hear, sorry.
Sorry?
Sorry, I couldn't hear. Could you maybe repeat the question?
Under what circumstances can the microscopic verification be sought?
Sought.
Yes. Requested, asked.
Well, in each case, if we examine cartridge case bullets or any related thing, the procedure states that at least one person should write and document a verification.
Ngekondlela ke kusetshenziswa ngayo ke ukuthi ke uma kwenziwa ke umsebenzi kubhekwa ke inhlamvu amagobolondo ukuthi ke kufanele kube nomuntu oyedwa ke ozobheka ke futhi abe sebhala phansi.
And then after the verification has been done, is there a need to get an additional opinions after the verification has now been done?
Verification refers to a specific person signing a document
Yeah.
as to what the results will find. Normally, once someone has signed, you would not necessarily get a second opinion.
Uma ke lokho kusho noma khuluma ngegama ke verification umuntu ozobheka ke abese yasayinda ke i-document. Uma sekwenziwe ke lokho akasikho isidingo sokuthi futhi ufuna olunye uvo.
But if there is uncertainty on the report or on the findings of that particular analyst, he can still go further to seek for an opinion as an addition on top of the verification.
Once the verification has been signed.
Yes. The verification has been sought, but if there is still an uncertainty, the analyst can still go and seek the opinions, additional opinions after the verification.
I cannot think that...
Sorry. The language there. What is verification?
Well, verification is the work that is done by the second analyst to check the work or to verify the work done by the first analyst.
So if he doesn't verify, that's the end of the story. He says Rata is wrong. So the verification force, it must be so, logically. Are you with me?
Yes, my lord.
Assuming you do a verification and you discover that me, the analyst, I am wrong. You don't point it out to say you are wrong.
Before I sign anything, my lord, if I find differences from you, I will point it out to the analyst before I sign any document.
No, we're talking about the verification.
Yes, I won't sign the verification. I will bring it to the attention of the examiner.
And that's it.
If there is disagreement,
Yes, I will not sign a document stating that, for example, if the analyst makes it inconclusive, or let's say for the examiner makes it positive, and I find that it's negative, I will not sign it. I will bring it to the attention that I don't agree with your finding, and then it will be discussed, or a second or third person might be involved.
Okwenzekayo lana ukuthi angithi manje uyabheka ke la umnikeze ufanele uqinisekise khona ke angeke ngisayineke uma ngithola ukuthi wena lokho okutholile ayisikona mina engikubonayo ke angeke ngikusayindeke le document leyo ngizokhuluma nawe bese ke mhlambe siyandlulela ke sifune olunye uvo.
then under what circumstances can an analyst go and seek for an opinion when his work has already been verified?
In this instance, verification means that the verification form has been signed. So an analyst will not go ask for a second opinion if a verification has already been signed, my lord.
Uma kuukuthi manje ke le document leli ke lebiza verification ukuthi seyisayindiwe ke loyo ke bekuyena besebenza ke ngawo lamazibili lawa asikho ke manje isidingo noma ngeke ahambe futhi andlulele komunye.
And then if the analyst is still not satisfied, he is allowed to go and seek for the opinion of the other additional analyst.
Yes, my lord, but not after a verification form has been signed.
Uma ke engenemeke ingabe angandlulela yini ayofuna ke uvo lomunye kodwa lokho akwenzeki ke uma ngaba le document leli selisayindiwe.
When Lieutenant Colonel Mangena approached you for an opinion, did he inform you that he had already approached Lieutenant Colonel Serrero to ask for the verification?
No, my lord.
Uma eza kuwena ke uLieutenant Colonel Mangena ingaba washo wakutshela yini ukuthi ebesehlangene noma ebesekile ke uLieutenant Colonel Serrero? Cha.
Did you ask him if verification has been done before you can give opinion in,
No,
in that case?
No, my lord.
Ingabe wambuza yini ukuthi selibhekiwe yini noma sekusayindiwe yini ngaphambi kokuthi wena unikeze ngovo? Cha.
Why did you accept the request to do an opinion when you did not know whether the verification has been done or not in this case?
My lord, any analyst at their own discretion can ask as many people as they want. I don't have to question as to how many people he's asked before he's asking me. He's asking me for an independent opinion, which I gave.
Konganike ukuthi ke manje wena ke univumeke ukunikeza ngovo ungazi ke noma usungambuzanga ukuthi mhlambe sesinikiwe yini isiqinisekiso noma sekusayindiwe yini. Nawuphi ke umcwaningi unelungelo lokuthi ke angabuza abantu noma bangaki ke mina nginalo ilungelo lokuthi ngimbuze.
Out of 6,805 cases that we have examined in the ballistic, how many out of this have you asked for an opinion above the verification report?
My lord, that would be practically impossible for me to answer because some are firearm-related cases, some are microscopic cases. I won't be able to recall exact cases.
Lana ke kulama case nanjengoba ushilo ukuthi suwenze ama case angale noma ke awu 6805 mangaki ke oye wacela kuona ke uvo nangaphezulu kokuthi ke mhlambe selibhekiwe kwasayindo noma ku verifyiwe lokho kangeke kubelula ke ukusho ngoba ke lamacala la amanye amacala owabheka ngemicroscope amanye amacala eibham.
I'm trying to understand the experience that enables you to give an opinion in this case, in this particular case. How many cases have you given an opinion on the same examination, including the bullets, like what we've done in this case? Bullets, comparison of bullets, microscopic verification, comparison, in order to give an opinion.
My lord, as I said, I cannot recall the exact amount. I've done it before. I've asked people to give an opinion on my cases before. Currently, as a group leader, I confirm cases for members in my group often.
Lana ke njengoba ngisho ukuthi nganzima ke ukusho ukuthi lokho kwenzeke amahlandla mangakike shilo ukuthi ke maningi ama case engiwenzile kwamanye kube yimina engicela ukuthi ke kwiqala engilenzile noma ngisebenze ngalo umuntu anikeze uvo nanjengamanje ke nanjengoba ngiwumholi ke wethimba ke kuba yimina ke manje obheka umsebenzi walabo engisebenza nabo.
In 2020, when you gave an opinion here, your rank was a captain and Mangena was Lieutenant Colonel who had a higher rank than you. Is that correct?
I'm not sure what Lieutenant Colonel's rank was in 2020, my lord, but if it is true, it's a higher rank.
Anginasiqiniseko sokuthi ke ngo2020 babu isiphi isikhundla noma ke rank yakhe uMangena kodwa uma kuukuthi ke wayeKolonel yebo singaphezulu kwesami.
Can a person of a higher rank, Lieutenant Colonel, ask for an opinion from a junior who is captain in terms of the rank?
My lord, a lieutenant colonel can even go so far as to ask a warrant officer for an opinion. Your rank is not related to your experience.
Ingabe umuntu oKolonel uyakwazi yini ukuthi ahambe ke ayo kumuntu ongenzathi kena ngesikhundla oCaptain ayocela uvo uthi mayiphendula ke uLieutenant Colonel uyakwazi nokuthi andluleke amshiye uCaptain ayobuza ke uwarrant officer.
As I explained yesterday, my lord, as long as the person is competent on the level, he can give an opinion.
Isikhundla sakho ke asihlangeneke nokuthi umuntu azocela uvo kuwena ke uma nje ukuthi ke yebo kushiwo kwena ukuthi lo msebenzi ulungeleke ungawenza lokho ke indaba yesikhundla ke ayisho lutho.
And then it is your evidence that you did not record any notes, not even a diary to record the work that you did in this particular case.
That's correct, my lord. I don't diarize every verification or case that I examine on the microscope.
Kufakazi bakho ke futhi ukuthi akukho la ubhale khona futhi noma ke kuyi-diary lokho owakuthola ke yebo kuyiqiniso umsebenzi ke engiwenzayo akukho la engiubhala khona noma ke kuyi-diary.
In the case of an opinion, I've made no notes, but when I give a verification, I complete the document in the case file as record.
Kodwa uma la engicela khona ukuthi anginikeze ngovo akukho ama notes engiwenzayo kodwa ke uma ke ukuthi ke manje kufanele ngibheke lo msebenzi ngokuqinisekise lokhu kuthiwa ke verify ila engenza khona khona ke ngibhala khona ngibese ngikufaka kwi-file.
is it your choice, or it's an operational standard that you need not to complete or to make a record if you are giving an opinion?
My Lord, if an analyst asks me for an opinion and they're not asking me to verify it, it is discretion of the analyst. As long as one person that examined those exhibits and tests in the case signs a verification form, it is sufficient.
Lana ke kuba kulona ke omcelileke ukuthi uma etanikeze ngofo ukuthi ke ngingabhali lutho ke kodwa uma kwaneleke uma ekhona umuntu oyedwa yena ke obhalileke phansi ke wabe eseyasayina.
Yes, my question is it an operational standard of working that gives you a choice of not recording the work, so that you can give us reference to that operational standard which says an analyst who is giving an opinion is not obliged to record the work that he has completed?
My Lord, there is no document limiting an analyst as to how many people he can ask for an opinion.
As alikho ke document esinalo elithi ke kulowo ke owumcwaningi ukuthi ke kufanele ngokomthetho ke aye kubantu abangaki ukuthi bamnikeze uvo.
No, I think you missed my question. I am saying, is there an operational standard, a policy which gives you power and authority not to record the work that we have conducted when you are requested to give an opinion, so that you can refer us to that policy or operational standard, so that you can look at it to see that you were right not to record the work that we have conducted?
Sorry, Mr. Chololo, I'm sorry. But this witness says there is no document. And you are saying you want to test that declaration by having access to a document or a policy.
Yeah, my Lord, I think the witness can ask because she did not answer what I've asked. That's why I'm repeating this question.
Okay.
The procedure, as I mentioned, states as long as one person that verified the case signs the document, a second analyst, it is sufficient, irrespective of how many people gave an opinion in respect to the case.
Engikushilo ke mina ukuthi ke ukuba nje ukhona ke oyedwa yena ke ubhekile umsebenzi wabe eseyalisayinda ke idocument noma bangaki ke aye kubona wacela uvo kodwa uma nje ekhona lo oyedwa yena ke osayindile.
Thank you very much for answering that question. Which procedure? I want to see that procedure. Which procedure? Because we are saying it's a procedure at the ballistic. Is it a policy? Where is that procedure coming from? I want to verify that procedure that you are referring to, that gave you permission to work and not make any recordings of the work that you conducted when you gave the opinion.
My Lord, as I've mentioned before, there is no document limiting or stating that I cannot give an opinion in a case on any analyst.
Bese ngishilo ke ngaphambili ukuthi ke alikho ke idocument elishoyo ke ukuthi mina anginako ke noma angikwazi ke ukuthi nginikeza ngovo noma kuliphi icala.
Okay, let's move on. You further testified as to how you conducted the microscopic examination. Am I correct?
That's correct, my Lord.
Yebo ngishilo ukuthi ke lo cwaningo lolu noma ke le lokusebenzisa imicroscope ngakwenza kanjani.
Can you be able to tell us how many striations you observed on the exhibit bullet?
No, my Lord, as I made no notes, I cannot say.
Nanjengoba ke ama notes engazange ngikwenzeka ngeke ngisho ke ukuthi ke kwinhlamvu lena ke exhibit kunama striations amangaki ngawathola.
Okay. Can you also be able to tell us how many striations you observed on the test bullets which gave you the positive identification of the reports that you were doing, of the examination that you were doing?
Referring to an amount? No, my Lord, I cannot give an amount, as I made no notes.
Angeke futhi ngisho ukuthi ke ngokwenani ke ukuthi kwakungangaki ke kunama test bullets nanjengoba ama notes ngawenziwe.
Do you agree with me that the whole process that you conducted in this microscopic examination has not been presented before this court?
Excuse me, sorry, maybe I
Do you
misunderstood.
agree with me that the whole microscopic examination that you conducted, has not been presented before this court?
No, I don't agree, my Lord.
Angivumelani nawe ke uma uthi ke lo msebenzi engawenzayo ngisebenzisa yona microscope ukuthi ke awethuliwe phambi kwalenkantolo.
I explained the procedure I followed yesterday, my lord.
Izolo ke ngishilo ukuthi yipi ke indlela ke noma ke ngenza kanjani.
Okay, if you don't want to answer, there is no problem. And then you further said that you searched for the marks when you were testifying. In other words, you searched for the striation which gave you the identification. Did I get you correct?
Yes, my lord.
Yebo uqiniso ngishilo ukuthi ngabe sengibheka ke ama mark lawo.
And all these matching striations that you got on both sides, you have not been able to present such evidence in a chart in this court.
My lord, I did not prepare a chart for the court.
Kuyiqiniseka ukuthi yona ke i-chart ke noma la eboniswa khona ke lokhu mina ngakwenzaka ayikho i-chart engiyenzileke.
And you furthermore testified that you refreshed your memory or you used the case file from Lieutenant Colonel Mangena to recall the facts of this case. Am I correct?
No, my lord, I used the case file to recall how the exhibits and tests were marked whilst compiling my report.
Engikushilo ukuthi ngisebenzise yona ke ifile ukubheka ke ukuthi ke ama test kanye lama test ke enziwe amakhwe kanjani ke uma ngilungiselela umbiko wami.
Which file did you use?
The case file
Yes.
related to the case, my lord.
Ifile ke le emayela nale cala.
So that's the file that was prepared by Colonel Mangena. Am I correct?
That's correct, my lord.
Ileyo file leyo ke ilungiselwe uyena ke Colonel
So
Mangena.
why are you saying no, you used the file?
Because, my lord, as I mentioned previously, I did not make notes on the specific examination. When compiling this report recently, I needed to be sure as to how the exhibits were marked and how the tests were marked. Not a finding, only how they were marked in order for me to be able to compile the report.
Nanjengoba ngishilo ke ukuthi ke ama notes angiwenzanga ke ukuthi manje ke ngenze umbiko lona ke engiwenzile bekufanele ngibheke ke ngibukeke ukuthi ke ama test lawo ke uma emakwa ke amakwa kanjani.
Thank you, my lord. I've got no further questions.
Okay. Any re-examination?
Ma'am, in cross-examination by Mr. Ramosipili, you indicated that you are a operational team leader, correct?
That's correct, my lord.
Ngishilo ke uma ngibuza yena ke Mr. Kamsipile ukuthi ke ngumholi ke noma ke lokho kubizwa ngokuthi ke i-team leader nethimba noma iqembu engiliholayo.
What does that entail?
My lord, the duties will entail I examine, I confirm the casework, I review a case file to ascertain that what is written in the performers or is reflected correctly in the affidavit.
Engikwenzayo ukuthi ke ngibheke ke umsebenzi lowo ke ukuthi lokho akukhona ke kuma forms noma ke okulindele ukuthi kwenziwe ke kuma form ethu esiwasebenzisayo uma kubhalwa ke statement esifungelwe affidavit kwenziwe ngendlela.
It also includes my confirmation for cases of members in my group.
Futhi ke nokuqinisekisa ke amaqala ke amalunga ke noma labo abakwithimba lami.
It can also include assistance with a broken firearm or an object or such things, my lord.
Lokho ke ngafaka phakathi ke nokunala mhlambe kunesibhamu khona ke esiphukile khona nezinto nje ezifana nalezo.
It also includes mentorship of some of the trainees in the group, my lord.
Futhi nokuthi ke ngiqeqesheke abanye ke balabo ke abasa qeqeshwa ke noma ke abase ama trainees kulona ke ithimba lelo.
In cross-examination by Mr. Ramosipili, you also indicated that the CMS method as well as the pattern matching method are not mutually exclusive. Do you confirm that?
That's correct, my lord.
Ngishilo ke futhi ke ukuthi ke i-CMS lena kanye nayo ke i-pattern matching lena ke akusona ke izinto noma ke akusona ke izinto ezingathi ke zikhishelwe ecaleni zombili.
And then in cross-examination by Advocate Minisi, you were taken through a hypothesis, correct?
That's correct, my lord.
Kuqiniswa ukuthi ke advocate Mnisike khona ke lesisibonelo noma lokho akushilo ezama ke ukuthi ke aveze noma ke enze isibonelo.
And then did you have an opportunity to see the chart that was being painted to you?
No, my lord.
Ingabe ke lokho ke bezama ukuthi akuvezeke kona ke into oye wayithola noma wayibona yini? Cha.
And then do you know if this, how the said striations were counted?
No, my lord.
Ingabe uyazi nokuthi ke lawo striations lawo abalwa kanjani? Cha.
Furthermore, you also indicated during your evidence in chief that there were sufficient agreement relating to class as well as individual characteristics. Do you confirm that?
That's correct, my lord.
Ushilo ke nakufakazi bakho ukuthi wathola ke wena ukuthi ke kwakhona ke ukuvumelana okwanele uma ngaba usuhlanganisa ubheka ke kuyiqiniso lokho.
On the 22nd of July 2020, when Colonel Mangena approached you for an opinion, were you aware of any other analyst that was approached at a stage?
No, my lord.
Ngabe nge-22 zika July 2020 uma ngabe uKenel Mangena eza kuwe wawunolwazi yini lomunye umcwaningi ekwayiwa kuyena? Cha.
It was also put to you by Advocate Mnisi that Colonel Mangena only relied on CMS method to come to his finding. I want to refer you to the record of the 6th of September 2014 on
20?
No, objection, my lord. That never came to me. I never said only relied. I said Mangena used the CMS. Only used.
Okay. Only used CMS. I want to refer you to the 6th of September 2014 on page 64, line 9.
I can't recall saying only used. I said Mr. Mangena used the CMS. So, the position, or what is now being put to this witness as something that could have been said by me is not accurate. I'm requesting the state to quote me accurately.
I'm quoting him.
I was making my best attempt
just listen.
to quote.
Are you quoting Mangena or are you quoting the advocate here?
I wanted to quote a little bit from the advocate and quote what Mangena said in response to that.
Okay, let's hear what you want to say.
Okay. On page 54, 6 September 2014.
2014.
Yes. You can just read where they highlighted, just line 9.
2024, not 2014.
Sorry, 2024, my apologies.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, Mangena, where I highlighted with red.
Mr. Mangena, my lord, the quality in both striation markings and pattern markings. They qualify, excuse me.
Lana ke kufundwa ke nge-6 zika September bona ke lonyaka uma uKenel Mangena ethula ubufakazi bakhe ke ukuthi zombili ke ukuthi ke ziyatholakala noma ziyaqualify ke kuma striations markings kanye futhi ne pattern markings.
And then the next paragraph 10, line 10.
Just line 10.
Yes.
Markings and pattern markings, my lord.
Lana ke ku-10 ke ukhuluma ke ngama markings kanye nawo ke ama pattern marking.
Okay. And then on the 6th of September 2024, on page 17, line 10. Just read. Or we can start on line 9, just above where I highlighted.
Method did you use? Okay, and then which method did you use or did you apply?
Lana ke kufunde ngokuthi ke manje yiphi ke indlela owayisebenzisa noma owasebenza ngayo.
And then the response after.
There are in some instances where you apply on both of them.
Phenduleke uKenel Mangena athi ke kwezinye ke indawo ke la ukusebenzisa kokubili.
Thank you. And then in your line of duty, is there any specific number of opinions which an analyst can seek from colleagues?
No, my lord.
Umsebenzini owenzayo ke ingaba mhlambe khona yini inani ke noma ke inamba ethize la uza kwenu noma labantu angaya kubona ayofuna uvo cha.
And then can you confirm the last time if indeed this was not a borderline case?
In my opinion, my lord, this is not a borderline case.
Ngokwami ke ukusho ke kwakusilona ke icala leli ke ongathi ke lokuqophelo ke elithize noma ke libhekwe ngendlela ethize.
That's all, my lord.
Yeah, then you said, just for clarification, you say you have some persons under your group, trainees.
That's correct, my lord.
Yebo kuyiqiniso bakhona abantu ke ama trainees abasebenza bakhona.
How many are they under your group?
Approximately 3 or 4.
About 3 noma about 4.
When did you start being promoted to have trainees, which you also mentor under your group?
My lord, as a group leader, essentially I'm the acting group leader in the position of my lieutenant colonel. I started mentoring as a group leader in January 2022.
Alike ngoJanuary ka2022 la khona ke manje kuthiwa ke angibambeleke noma ngibambe ukuthi ke ngibe yilowo ohola i-team.
By the way, you said you started training for ballistics in Pretoria. When?
In the year 2000, March, my lord.
2000?
March 2000, my lord.
March.
Yes, that's correct, my lord.
NgoMarch ka2000 uma ke ngiqeqeshwa ke
Full time?
Pretoria.
Full time, my lord.
It's about how many years now?
It's 24, my lord.
24 years.
Minyaka ke manje 24 leyo.
That case you mentioned in 2006, you call it what's the...
The Jeppestown massacre.
Was it in 2006?
I think so, my lord. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, fine. Just
Kusengenzeka ukuthi leqala bengikhuluma ngala Jeppestown kali ngo2006.
so in other words, all I want to ascertain is, as early as 2006, you were attending court.
That's correct, my lord.
Ngo2006 ngase ngihamba inkantolo.
Okay, any questions arising? No questions. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, my lord.
Yes, Mr. And
All this next state witness, Captain Malisela Eliakim Mtini. Whilst we are waiting for the witness, I would like to introduce a new exhibit that the witness will also make reference to. It is marked as Exhibit 0001. The witness will refer to such an exhibit.
oh, one.
Yes. And we'll provide the original copy of the document to the defense.
Okay,
It's a single page, my lord.
single page.
Yes.
There's another document here, 000.
Yes.
So this one joins.
Indeed, my lord.
Okay, fine. So West and Kim.
Saying they gave us an original. I've got a photocopy here.
We will provide the defense with the original.
I want to say it before this witness starts to testify, because we do not want to validate the evidence of this witness before we see the original. May we kindly be provided with the original before he starts to testify.
Where's the original, sir?
My lord, it will be provided to the defense.
Does it exist?
It does, my lord.
Where is
It
it?
was made from the original.
Where is it?
Send its way, my lord.
Actually, we have indicated to the state earlier on when we were given these copies that we want to verify with the original register.
Maybe, my lord, may I add, the court is always concerned about the fact that the JP is also concerned about the manner in which this trial is dragging on and on and on and on and on. I can only sincerely hope and believe that the court is taking note of the fact of what is happening here, because this is going to constitute yet another delay. I can only sincerely believe that those delays do not always come from the side of the defense. This is caused by the state, because they come here in the morning, they throw us, they give us this information, they do not even speak to us about the original, they come up with new information on a daily basis, and they expect us to be up and above and start to proceed with the matter on the basis of this new information that they give us on a daily basis. I'm very concerned as well.
Is this about the record of the traveling?
Indeed, my lord,
Of
on
the
the
vehicle.
27th of October 2014, we're only referring to a single entry in that document.
Which is what?
Doesn't matter.
The third entry, my lord.
17922.
That's correct, my lord.
Okay, it will be provisionally admitted because they say it's coming. If it doesn't come, then the admission will be expunged. Okay. Yeah, can you start then? You able?
I have not consulted because I thought that we were going to be provided with the original.
Yeah, they say this document only pertains to the third entry, ne?
Correct, my lord.
Nothing else.
Nothing else.
Yeah, you can consult Mr. Umal.
But my cross-examination, my lord, is not going to be limited to that entry.
Yeah, but the state says they're not going to be utilizing the other information on this document. Are you not saying that, sir?
That's what I'm saying, my lord.
Yeah, you can consult. If you want to consult.
It's dangerous, my lord, to be handed with a document, a leaflet such as this one without the entire register, because we don't know what is happening here. So we want to compare and contrast the sequence of the information that is contained in this document from the original source. And if we don't have the original source, we are able.
So you want the register itself, the complete register?
That's the original document.
Do you want the complete register?
We don't know whether it comes from a register or what, but the original source where this information is coming from.
What is the original source, Mr. Sibande?
It's a logbook, my lord.
Where's that logbook?
But if I can suggest that we can start with the opinion, Exhibit 000, then we get to Exhibit 001 later.
It shall have suddenly come about.
And then during lunch, my lord, we can see if we cannot arrange for the
What's the time now?
original logbook. 12:17.
Is that okay? They say they can start with the original document.
It's not okay, my lord. it's not okay, and that is not the procedure for the witness to start when the parties know that the witness will be testifying on both exhibits.
Yeah, but they say the document in question will be available after lunch. Okay.
My lord, it will be unfair to start with the examination.
You know, you guys, you're just picking up trivialities. And I quoted a case to you. Director of Public Prosecutions versus the Eastern Cape. Where's that case? Just let's quote it again, please.
But my lord, the state...
No, wait. Let's quote that case because they say people... Wait, Mr. Mnisi. They say, the law says, we mustn't put imaginary obstacles. Just quote that case again. It's not me saying that, it's the law.
But my lord,
and it's an SCA case. I can't overrule it. Let's see that case.
My lord, with due respect, the state knew when they made copies of these that the defense is going to request original copy. Why did they not bring it in the morning?
Have you got that case?
Trying to find the relevant passage.
It was written by Harams, man. Is it Harams? Director of Public Prosecutions. Eastern Cape. The other day, you just drew that case. What's the problem now?
My lord, I will read from paragraph 13 if it's the correct passage in any democracy.
No, just quote the case itself, so that it shouldn't be said, I'm creating new law. What's the citation of that case?
Attorney General Cape Good Hope Provincial Division and another Key versus the Attorney General Cape of Good Hope.
Nah, that's not the case. That one is by, I told it's by Harams. We are reading a case by Kirchla now.
Yes.
Hey, my daughter. Jesus. That case talks about the fairness or otherwise of Section 35 pertaining to the litigants before a court.
It's National Director of Public Prosecutions and King.
That's the one. Wait. Yeah, that's the one. Is it by 5 judges? Harams. Just count the judges so that. Hello. Harams.
Nagent Mlambo.
Mlambo.
And Mijit, AJA.
And who else
yes.
also?
And Malan.
Yeah, Malan. 5 judges. What are they saying? Not Rat, the law. What's the problem now?
We're trying to identify the relevant paragraph.
Yeah, I think it's the 3rd paragraph also. I can quote that case for you. It's fairness in a case, it's a two-way street. Have you got that paragraph?
Paragraph 5.
What does it say?
There is no such a thing as perfect justice. A
Yes.
system where an accused person should be shown every scintilla of information that might be useful to his defense and discovering criminal cases must always be compromised. Fairness is not a one-way street conferring an unlimited right to an accused to demand the most favorable possible treatment, but also requires fairness to the public as represented by the state. This does not mean that the accused's rights should be subordinated to the public's interest in the protection and suppression of crime. However, the purpose of the fair trial provision is not to make
Any scintilla.
Yes, it's not to make it impracticable to conduct a prosecution. The fair trial right does not mean predilection for technical necessities and ingenious legal stratagems, or to encourage preliminary litigation. Let me just go down.
Yeah, okay. What, in simple man's language, what do they say? These 5 judges.
My lord, what they are saying at this stage is to say exactly limited what is happening now, that now the defense is only picking this one entry from which is going to delay the court to further proceed at this stage, just for a very minor issue, which is one entry, and they submit that the delay that is being caused, it will result in an unfair trial to the accused person, not considering the fact that also the public being represented by the state, it should also be taken into consideration.
Yeah, and this court is making an order to say, if that piece of evidence is not brought to court as undertaken by the state, it will be expunged. I don't know what a judge should do. And here are 5 judges, so you can't go for predilections and try and stop a trial on a minor issue. I mean, it's a minor issue of a car which is supposed to have been used on the 2014, on the 27th, sorry, on the 27th of October 2014 at 10:15. It is alleged that this VW Jetta, which belongs to support services for the Division of Forensic Services in October, it was used from the forensic laboratory, I think, to Force Laura's crime scene examination under case number 63/10/1, and also used to the residence in Centurion. And it is signed by Captain Mangene. Okay, you can continue.
Lana-ke udaba belumayelana nokuthi-ke le document umbuso oyivezayo-ke ufakazi azokuthi ufakazi kayo abameli-ke bathi cha babefisa ukuthi bangabona-ke i-originally-ke kwasefundwa-ke manje-ke lo mthetho othi-ke akungabhekwa-ke into ey'ncane ezingathi-ke zilungiseke-ke ekuhambeni kwesikhathi ngokuthi-ke kulibaziseke ukukhulwa kwalo icala. Umehluleli uthi-we manje-ke uthatha isinqumo sokuthi-ke ungaqhutshekwa-ke manje uma kuwukuthi le document ayizi-ke nanjengoba umbuso uthembisile, ila khona-ke manje inkantolo isizoshintsha-ke isinqumo sayo ukuthi-ke manje lokho kushiwo mayelana nalokho ayafika i-document leyo, lobo bufakazi sebuzokhishela ecaleni, kodwa kwamanje bangaqhubeka-ke.
Sorry, why don't you read that word which says scintilla of evidence? You know what a scintilla of evidence? You haven't read that thing completely. They're talking about an instance like this, a scintilla of evidence. They mean feathery light evidence, which is innocuous. Just read that also.
There is no such a thing as perfect justice.
Yes.
A system where an accused person should be shown every scintilla of information that might be useful to his defense.
That's it. Wait. Yeah, that's it. It's enough. They say, these judges, 5 judges are saying that, not me. When there's an undertaking that scintilla of evidence will be brought, this court can make a ruling on the basis of those 5 judges.
Bit 001 after lunch, we can use other issues.
Have you sworn the gentleman in?
I'm about to.
Okay.
Name and surname, please.
Malisala Eliakim.
Do you have any objection in taking the oath?
No objection, my lord.
Do you consider the oath to be binding on your conscience?
I do.
Do you swear that the evidence you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing else but the truth? Raise your right hand and say, so help me God.
So help me God.
Sworn in.
I will present the affidavit to the witness. The witness, my lord, will make reference to exhibit 000. Say, for the record, can you please state your rank?
I am a captain, my lord.
Captain.
It's also correct that you're a member of the South African Police Services?
That is correct, my lord.
Which unit are you attached to?
I am attached to the ballistic section, my lord.
Ngisebenza ke to the section ke yama ballistic.
What is your role there? What is your role?
Our role is to examine firearms and toolmarks related cases.
Okwethu ke ukuhlola ke ibhamu ke kwakunye futhi ke namakala ke amayelana ke nama marks enziwa iwona ke amathulusi.
Can you identify the document that is in front of you?
That is correct, my lord.
On page 5 of that document, page 4 rather, the signature there, can you identify that signature?
That is correct, my lord.
Yebo ke ku page 4 ngiyabona ke la kusayindwa khona.
Is that your signature?
That is correct, my lord.
Iqiniso ukuthi mina owasayinda.
On page 5 is a stamp there and a signature. Can you identify that?
That is correct, my lord.
No, page 5 ke kusayindiwe futhi kune stamp esikhona.
Do you confirm that is a stamp of the Commission of Oath?
That is correct, my lord.
Nokuthi ke istamp salo ke ofundisayo.
And the date of the, can you place the date of the confirmation thereof?
The 11th of September 2024, my lord.
Date ke 11 September 2024.
And then at the bottom of page 1, the initial there, can you identify it?
That is correct, my lord.
Futhi ke na lapha enzansi ke na ke page 1 initially we lapha yana.
Is that your initial?
That is correct, my lord.
Unokuthi futhi ke ama initial wona lawo.
And then can you proceed now to place the contents of exhibit 00 onto the record?
Malisela Eliakim Ntini declares under oath in accordance with section 212, subsections 4A and 8A of the Criminal Procedure Act, Act 51 of 1977, as amended, as follows. I number 70-555-656 am a captain in the South African Police Service at the Forensic Science Laboratory, 270 Pretoria Road, Silverton, with telephone number 012-845-5902. I am a senior forensic analyst and I am in the service of the state. I have been attached to the ballistics section since 2005 as an examiner of forensic ballistics with the following qualifications and experience. Academic qualifications. I obtained a BTech degree in policing from Tshwane University of Technology in 2004. I obtained a postgraduate diploma in criminal justice and forensic investigation from the University of Johannesburg in 2006. I obtained a diploma in policing from the Technikon Pretoria in 2003. I obtained a certificate in criminal justice from Technikon Pretoria in 2000. I visited the following firearm and ammunition manufacturers to ascertain the processes that are used in the manufacturing of firearms and ammunition. Pretoria Metal Pressings, that is PMP. Somcam in Cape Town. New Generation Arm, NGA. I completed a course in bloodstain pattern analysis in 2012 and 2013, offered by Bevel, Gardner and Associates from the United States of America. Crime scene reconstruction, bloodstain pattern analysis level 1. Shooting incident reconstruction, bloodstain pattern analysis level 2. Advanced shooting incident reconstruction, bloodstain pattern analysis level 3. Ballistic modeling. I have to date examined the excess of 3,500 cases. I examine ballistic related cases as part of my daily task and testify on a regular basis in the courts of South Africa. I have attended the following internal and external training interventions. Identification of ammunition, fired bullets, and fired cartridge cases. The use of microscopic equipment. Microscopic individualization of firearms, ammunition, fired bullets, and fired cartridge cases. Acquisition of fired cartridge case and fired bullet data on integrated ballistics identification system, that is IBIS. Microscopic individualization of tools and tool marks. Physical matching. Microphotography. Identification of firearms. The examination of firearm mechanisms. The different manufacturing processes of firearms and firearm components. The examination of homemade devices. Techniques associated with the recovering and restoration processes of obliterated alphanumeric figures on metals. The reloading of ammunition and the manufacturing process of ammunition. Short range determination. Crime scene examination and recording techniques. Documentation of examination results. Internal forensic ballistics. Functioning of firearm mechanisms during the firing process. The burning rates of propellant powder and gas pressure. transfer of marks by the firearm to cartridges, fired cartridge cases, and fired bullets. Intermediate forensic ballistics. The effect that hot gases, propellant powder, and partially burnt propellant powder has on an intermediate target before and after the exit of a bullet from the muzzle. The forming and effect of secondary missiles caused by intermediate targets. External forensic ballistics. The trajectory of the bullet from the muzzle of the firearm to the final point of impact. Terminal forensic ballistics. The wounding effect that the bullet has on tissue. That is wound ballistics. The effect that the bullet has on the target. The effect that the target has on the bullet. I was declared competent and proficient in the forensic ballistics examination. On 22nd July 2020, during the performance of my official duties, I was requested by Lieutenant Colonel Mangena to provide a microscopic opinion regarding the following exhibit bullet and test-fired bullets. One 9mm caliber fired bullet marked 217267/14A2. 8 9mm caliber test-fired bullets marked 369 TB3 to 369 TB10 respectively. I examined the fired bullets mentioned in paragraphs 3.1 and 3.2 and compared the individual and class characteristics markings transferred to them by firearm components during firing process using a comparison microscope and found the bullets mentioned in paragraphs 3.1 and 3.2 were fired from the same firearm. The conclusions arrived at were based on facts established by means of an examination and process which require a knowledge and skill in forensic ballistics. And I signed the document.
Chaza-ke la Captain Umtini nokuthi futhi ke usebenza kuphi ke ikheli u270 okay i-forensic science laboratory ese270 Mgwaqo iPretoria eSilverton ibhaliwe ke futhi nenamba yakhe ke nokuthi ke uyi-senior forensic analyst futhi ke usebenzela wona ke umbuso usebenzile ke khona la kule section ballistic kusuka ngayo u2005 nanje umuntu ke omcwaningi wazo ke ibhamu noma ke okuphathelene neibhamu futhi ke neyifundo ke ayiphothula wathola ke iBTech eSphoyiseni University yaseTshwane ngo2004 wathola ke idiploma yayo icriminal justice yoda ke ethola ke University yaseJohannesburg ngo2006 idiploma eSphoyiseni ke Pretoria Technical ngo2003 kwenye futhi naso ke certificate isatholakala asithola ke sayo criminal justice kwi-Pretoria Technical ngo2000 ngiyeke noma ke ngahamba ke kule ndawo ezilandelayo ezenza ke ibhamu kanye futhi nazo inhlamvu ukuyobona nokuyothola futhi indlela ke ezisetshenziswayo ukwenza ibhamu kanye futhi nazo inhlamvu ePretoria Metal Pressing PMP eSomcam eseCape Town iNew Generation Army NGA ngase futhi ke ngenza ke nekhosi yamagazi ke noma la etholakala khona ke amagazi noma ke ucwaninga kwabo ngo2012 nango2013 yona ke eyayenziwa iBevel iGardner Associates yase USA bese kuthi kanye futhi ke nokwakha kabusha ke kwendawo ke yesigameko lokuthiwa ke crime scene reconstruction kanye futhi ke nokutholakala kwegazi level 1 kanye futhi ke nokwenziwa kabusha ke noma ke i-shooting incident reconstruction kwendawo ke la ekudutshulwe khona ke kanye futhi ke nokutholakala kwegazi ke level 2 kanye futhi ke ne-advanced shooting incident reconstruction yona ke nayo ephathelene futhi ke nokutholakala kwegazi level 3 kanye ke nokubizwa ngokuthi ke ama-ballistics modeling kuze kube manje ke sengisebenze noma ke sengihloleke ama-case a-3500 ngihlola ke ama-cases amayelana nama-ballistics nanjengomsebenzi engiwenza elanga nelanga futhi ke ngethula ubufakazi ke eyinkantolo zala eNingizimu Afrika ngiyeke kulamakhosi alandelayo ke angaphakathi nangaphandle ke esiphoyiseni ukwahlukanisa ukuthola ke inhlamvu ezidutshuliwe kanye futhi namagobolondo adutshuliwe kusetshenziswa ke yona ke noma ke amathulusi ayo i-microscope kanye futhi nokwahlukaniswa kusetshenziswa kwayo i-microscope kweyibhamu inhlamvu kanye futhi nezinhlamvu ezidutshuliwe kanye namagobolondo asesebenzile noma adutshuliwe ukutholakala kwamagobolondo asesebenzile kanye nezinhlamvu ezisebenzile lokho kubizwa ke ngokuthi ke i-IBIS ukuhlukaniswa ke kusetshenziswa yona ke i-microscope ukwazi futhi nokuqhathanisa nalokho kubizwa ngokuthi ke i-microphotography ithombe ukuhlukaniswa kwazo i-BAM ukuhlolwa kwe-BAM nendlela ke isebenza ngazo kanye futhi ke nendlela ezahlukene zokwenziwa kwazo i-BAM kanye futhi ke nalokho okutholakala kuzona ke i-BAM noma ke lokho kubizwa ngokuthi ama-components ukuhlolwa kweyikhali labo uthola ukuthi ke lezi ozenzela zona ke noma abantu abazenzela zona ke ozenzele kanye ke neindlela ke ehambisana nokuthola kanye futhi nokubuyisela kwalama number ke asuliwe noma ke uma ngabe ukhona ke lokho okusuliwe kusona isibhamu sinendlela ke okanye noma kunendlela ke yokuthi ukwazi ukubuyisela ukubone ukubuyisela kwazo izinhlamvu kanye futhi ke nendlela yokwenziwa kwazo izinhlamvu nokwazi ke ukuthola ibanga uma kuwukuthi ke kutholakala ukuthi kudutshule kwibanga elingekho kude kanye futhi ke nokwazi ukusebenza ukwazi ukusebenza kwindawo zezigameko kanye futhi nokubhala phansi indlela noma ke ama-techniques kanye futhi ke nemiphumela yabo ukuhlolwa ama-forensic ballistics angaphakathi ukusebenza kwe-BAM uma ngabe kudutshulwa kanye futhi ke nala ekushisa khona impuphu ke lekushisayo kanye futhi ke nokubizwa ngokuthi i-gas pressure ukundluliselwa kwama-marks odluliswa yisona isibhamu indluliselwa kumagobolondo amagobolondo adutshuliwe kanye futhi ke nazo inhlamvu ezidutshuliwe ukuthi ke umthelela walawo magesi lawo ashisayo kanye futhi ke nempuphu kanye futhi ke nomthelela ke waleyo mpuphu leyo la inhlamvu eyakhona ngaphambi nasemuva kokuthi ke iphumileke kusona isibhamu amakhosi ke angaphandle eforensic la ukuhamba kwayo inhlamvu uma ngaba iphuma kwisibhamu nala isiyogcina khona ke noma ishaya khona ukuthi futhi ke umthelela la kunenxeba khona ke uma ngaba imbumbulu isishayile kanye futhi nomthelela wayo ke inhlamvu la ishaya khona kanye nomthelela wala inhlamvu ishaye khona ngase kwasukuthi ke sorry okay emuva kwako ke ukuthola ke lokuqeqeshwa lokhu ila kwashiwo khona ke ukuthi sengikulungeleke manje ukuthi ke ngingasebenza ngokuhlola kwawo ama-ballistics nge-22 zikaJulayi 2020 ngisenza ke umsebenzi wami ngacelwa uyena uLieutenant Colonel Mangena ukuthi ke nginikeze ngovo ngisebenzisa yona ke i-microscope mayelana nalamazibiti amabuleti kanye futhi nalawo atestiwe ke asedutshuliwe i9 mm caliber inhlamvu ye9 mm esidutshuliwe eyayimaphwe u217267 14A2 kanye-ke nenhlamvu ey'thestiwe-ke zona-ke eziwu-8 ze-9 mm zona-ke zazimakwe u-369 TB3 no-369 TB10. Ngahlola-ke lezo inhlamvu lezo ey'dutshuliwe ey'chaziwe-ke lapho u-3.1 kanye naye u-3.2 ngayiqhathanisa ngase ngithola-ke ukuthi-ke kwakukhona-ke okutholakalayo-ke okwahlukanisiwe kanye naloko okuhlangene lokhu ukuthi ama-individual nama-class characteristics andluliselwa-ke kuzona yiso isibhamu noma-ke indlela-ke yokudubula yaso isibhamu. Ngisebenzisa-ke i-microscope leyo ngathola ukuthi iy'nhlamvu lezi ekhulunywa ngazo ku-3.1 naku-3.2 zadutshulwa-ke zibuya kwisibhamu esisodwa. Lokho-ke ngafikelela kona-ke ngakuthola-ke lokho ngokwamaqiniso kanye futhi-ke nangendlela-ke yokuhlola kanye futhi ney'ndlela-ke ezidinga ukuthi umuntu abe nolwazi kanye futhi-ke nobuchwepheshe-ke kulo msebenzi wama-forensic ballistic. Wasayinda-ke ku-page 4.
Okay. Sorry, what's the time?
Correct.
12:48.
12?
48.
Yeah, let's adjourn until 2.